So let's talk TV. Okay, so while I'm redesigning all my graphics and settings and getting everything working again for my general movie reviews, thought I'd put together a quick review on TV shows. Also, quick thank you to Kylie who came around and got all the settings and all the cameras and everything on my PC working again. And also to Logan, Harvey, Norman tech support guys who managed to get my computer working at all after I completely bricked it. Start off with NCIS, and my wife and I, we just finished season 16. Yeah, 16. We're enjoying where all the characters have been going. We're really enjoying the various character arcs. Had quite a few characters leave now. But all the new ones we're getting used to. We're actually enjoying a lot of the interplay, particularly between Torres and Bishop. Those two, they're getting along really well. We love watching them interact and act like a real team though too. They're a really good duo. Don't really know what's going on with the audio. I'm really sorry about that. I'm gonna have to put that on the list of things I have to double check and find out why it's making the occasional strange noise, and it sounds like there's an echo. McGee's character arc seems to have stabilized in as a solid and dependable 2IC, the senior field agent. He is doing very well for himself. Admittedly, McGee does lack some of the flash and charisma that Tony DiNozzo did, but he's also very interesting in his own right, so we're enjoying that. His character arc is probably most outstanding amongst all of the agents overall. But Gibbs is once again in the spotlight, and his character's really come along. He's actually getting quite emotional at times. He's opening up a lot more. We're learning a lot more about Gibbs and the way he's handling and dealing with just life changing around him. It's been really fun to see how his character has developed, as well as the relationship between himself and Director Vance. Those two buddies working out very well, and a lot of the support characters, the ones that pop up every now and then, they're getting a fair bit more to do of late. Some great scenes between Gibbs and his therapist. Jack Sloan, she's had a lot to do. Palmer's had a lot to do. Palmer's had so much more to do now that Ducky's retired. Well, actually retired as senior medical examiner, but been put on as historian. Now, I don't know anything about season 17, but I really hope that Palmer gets a new assistant soon. Because, to be honest, it's a little dull down there with just one of them. Having the interplay between Ducky and Palmer was always fun, and Palmer by himself is very efficient and very quick, but it just doesn't quite feel the same. So hopefully the writer's going to go and give Palmer an assistant to play off. There's something I could talk about at the end of the series, but there's a major spoiler if you haven't caught up, so I'm going to leave that alone. So yeah, we're really enjoying it, and we're hanging out for August when apparently season 17 is available on DVD as well. Here's a funny thing, whilst recently down the Gold Coast for a short holiday, saw a woman basically lose the plot and get into a fist fight with a bunch of ibis. Full-on punching, kicking, kung fu fighting, a whole swarm of bin chickens. It was a unique and entertaining moment. Next up on Disney Plus, we have The Mandalorian again, but this is the behind-the-scenes stuff. This is the documentary of how they made it. That's really quite engaging. I'm enjoying that. I've always loved the behind-the-scenes stuff. I've always loved those extras and those documentary-style things that you see on some Blu-rays. The ones done by Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The King Kong, all that behind-the-scenes stuff, that was the best. That is the very best documentary style. But these Mandalorian documentaries, these short little bites of how they go into making the series, very cool, very worth watching actually. Especially the actors in their discussion of making the series and everything that led them to these roles. That was quite good. Totally recommend watching that. If you enjoyed Mandalorian, you're gonna enjoy the documentaries. This is the Marvel Knights animated mini-series, M to R-rated short series based on a variety of Marvel characters and done in a motion comic style format. Motion comic is basically an animated storyboard or just moving still images. It's a funny way to describe it. It's not quite stop motion. It's a couple of steps below, say, South Park style animation. They're fun, they're sometimes funny, they're frequently bloody and violent. They are Marvel Knights animated features, which means they generally don't shy away from a lot of things that most animated features would. The quite interesting takes and variations on the lore and the style of existing characters that Black Panther, for example, is, while quite similar, also very different. Different storyline, different origin story, different pretty much everything, but similar characters wrapped up in it. Shuri would be the greatest deviation from what we know from the MCU. She is almost unrecognizable in this, but still definitely Shuri. Spider-Woman's amazing. Iron Man's a real interesting take, different again. It's how would you describe it? It's definitely not the MCU Tony Stark. Let's put it that way. And Wolverine and the X-Men, also very different take, very different style on them. These are much darker stories. The Spider-Woman story is probably my favorite though. Voice acting's pretty good, the use of music's pretty good, the dialogue and the script, all that sort of thing, it's pretty good stuff, you know. The animation, you know, motion comics, they're a bit interesting. Usually you get used to it. You just get used to watching what you're watching. Every now and then, though, they'll do something of such a bad perspective angle or just such a weird presentation. You get dumped out of the Matrix pretty hard every now and then in this. So it's an acquired taste. If someone said to me that they hated that style, I'd understand. You know, it is probably not what a lot of people are expecting, but still worth a look. Worth a look just for the unique or the different take on it. These were released in 2010 and 2011, and I just found out that there's a second season of all these. There's a lot more in the second round, so I'm going to have to see if I can find them as well. Last, I got a new batch of movies to work through. This one's causing me dramas. It's taking me forever. Scorched Earth, Gina Carano. It's just, for whatever reason, taking me forever to get into. I'm really having to force myself to watch it. That's always a hassle. It just feels so slow. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that should be interesting. And these two because I like to torment myself for your entertainment. The D&D movie, the first one, I've heard very bad things. The Avengers, but not those Avengers. It's the British TV show Avengers. It's, apparently this is the one that killed Sean Connery's interest in movies for quite a few years, almost ending his career. So that'll be interesting as well. Anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully next time you see me, I'll have got all my settings sorted out and my video software will be up and running properly again, so we'll get to do a full review. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you had a great weekend pass. And as usual, take care and make some time to go watch a movie.